The fastest way I have watched a clean automation rot was a single agent versus multi-agent rewrite. One working loop became 5 named agents: planner, outliner, drafter, reviewer, publisher. It looked serious on the diagram. In production, nobody owned the truth. The planner changed goals. The outliner cached stale assumptions. The reviewer retried a bad draft 3 times, and the publisher failed with no clue which upstream node lied. The system did less work and produced more incidents. The bug was not the model. The bug was boxes that did not deserve to exist. Naive multi-agent design usually starts with nouns. If you can name a behavior, you draw a box for it. Research agent, summary agent, critique agent, format agent. That feels like architecture because the picture has structure. But a graph node is not free. It needs inputs, outputs, retries, logs, ownership, versioning, and tests. Every handoff throws away some context or forces you to serialize it. Every node can get stale prompts, incompatible schema, wrong tools, or different assumptions about the task. If the boxes are not real specialties, you are not reducing complexity. You are distributing one messy thought process across multiple failure surfaces. Here is the pattern, the napkin test. Before you create a node, write its job in 1 line. Then ask 3 questions. Does it need a different model class or capability? Does it need a different toolset, permission boundary, or runtime? Is it a role you would plausibly hire as a separate person on a serious team? If yes to any of those, the node may deserve its box. If it uses the same context, the same tools, and the same judgment as the previous step, it is probably not an agent. It is a step. Mechanically, I do this before I write orchestration code. First, list each proposed node name. Second, write 1 sentence. This node exists to do what? Third, mark model, tools, and role as same or different from its neighbors. Fourth, mark the shared state it must read and the artifact it must produce. Fifth, make the decision, real node or inline step. A real node gets a contract, input schema, output schema, timeout retry policy, and verification. An inline step stays inside one loop with local state and simple control flow. The opinionated rule is this: start with 1 agent and make the graph earn every extra edge. In my content pipeline, the script writer and the renderer are a real split. The writer works in text, outline, narration, section timing, description, metadata. It needs language judgment and access to project notes. The renderer is a separate binary stage. It touches media files, layout rules, fonts, timing, image generation outputs, and export checks. Different tools, different runtime, different failure modes. That is a node. But I once had an outline agent between research and writing. It used the same model family, same context, same notes, same goal, and returned a slightly smaller blob of text. It created a handoff without adding specialty. I inlined it back into the writer loop, and the pipeline got simpler and more reliable. The napkin test is not magic. Teams can lie to themselves. A node may claim different role, but still share the same context and tools. That is theater. Another failure is vague contracts. A real node with outputs like good summary or improved plan will still poison the graph because downstream code cannot verify it. There is also the opposite mistake. You can keep too much inside one giant agent until permissions blur and failures become untraceable. Rendering, payment actions, data deletion, external writes, and privileged operations often deserve isolation. The point is not fewer nodes at any cost. The point is fewer accidental nodes. This sits in the graphs tier because orchestration is where taste starts to matter. Earlier loop work gave us stop conditions, verification, state, and budgets. Graphs combine those loops, so the cost of a bad boundary compounds. A node boundary is also a state boundary. Who owns the plan? Who owns the artifact? Who can retry? Who can declare done? Later, when we talk about supervisors, queues, and fleet scale, this rule still holds. Multi-agent systems are useful when specialties are real. Without that, a graph is just a slow function call with extra logs. Here is the 10-minute exercise. Open one of your automations and draw the current graph, even if it is just boxes on paper. For each box, write 1 line describing its job. Then add 3 marks: model same or different, tools same or different, role same or different. Circle every node where all 3 are same. Those are suspects. Pick one and ask, could this be a function call, prompt section, checklist item, or loop step inside the previous node? If yes, inline it in a branch or test version. Measure fewer retries, fewer schema conversions, and easier debugging. 3 beats to keep. First, single agent versus multi-agent is not a maturity contest. It is a boundary decision. Second, a node earns its box through different model needs, different tools, or a genuinely different role. Same context and same tools usually means inline step. Third, count nodes as liabilities before you count them as architecture. Every box needs contracts, tests, logs, and ownership. Tomorrow we keep building the graph tier with more patterns for reliable orchestration. New loop engineering episode daily on this channel.